You want balance? Go be a damn yoga instructor. Empires aren't built on balance. They're built on obsession, sacrifice, and execution. Balance is what losers cling to when they're too scared to go all in. You've been lied to. They told you to seek balance like it's the Holy Grail. But balance is the security blanket of the weak, an illusion for those too afraid to commit. In this video, I'll dismantle the myth of balance and show you why the uncommitted man uses it as his favorite excuse. If you want power, purpose, and results, listen up. Balance is important, they say. Balance between work and life. Balance between hustle and rest. Let me tell you something, and listen carefully. Balance is a mask for fear. It's the prettiest lie society tells you to keep you average, small, and insignificant. The people screaming balance the loudest are the ones who've never tasted greatness. They're terrified. Terrified of the pain, the discipline, the sacrifice, the sleepless nights, the lonely mornings. So they wear this mask. Balance to protect themselves from the truth. They don't have the guts to go all in. When you chase balance, what you're really doing is playing defense. You're tiptoeing through life, trying not to lose instead of trying to win. But life doesn't reward the timid. Life punishes hesitation and excuses. Balance is a justification for mediocrity. It's a strategy to avoid discomfort. And discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. You want to build an empire? You want to make a dent in the world? Then you better be ready to live unbalanced as hell. Look at the greats. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. These men weren't balancing yoga on Tuesday and brunch on Sunday. They were obsessed. They had a mission, and they knew damn well that balance would be the death of it. So they burned the bridges. They scorched the distractions. They said, this is what I want, and everything else can burn. And guess what? They got it. Because the universe doesn't bow to the balanced man. It bows to the one who refuses to be denied. Balance gives you an exit plan. It gives you a back door when the pressure hits. That's not strength. That's weakness dressed up in soft words and polite phrases. You don't get to the top by hedging bets. You get there by betting it all and saying, sink or swim, this is my path. Winners don't need safety nets because they don't plan on falling. The truth is, people use balance as an excuse to avoid the hard decisions. They don't want to confront what it takes to win, because when you strip away the balance, when you remove the distractions, when there's nothing left but the mission, you're exposed. It's raw, it's painful, it's real, and most people aren't built for that. But if you're listening to this, maybe you are. So throw the mask away, stop lying to yourself. Balance won't build your legacy, commitment will. Sacrifice will. Relentless, unapologetic, all-in execution will. Stop seeking balance and start seeking victory. Because in this life, you either dominate or you get dominated. Balance? That's just fear with a nice name. Obsession builds empires, period. Balance? Balance is what the world sells you to keep you average. It's the soft, seductive lie that tells you it's okay to coast, to slow down, to enjoy the journey, while the obsessed are out there building kingdoms. You don't remember the guy who took weekends off. You remember the maniacs. The ones who ate, slept, and breathed their mission. The ones who didn't want it, they needed it, like oxygen. You think Bezos built Amazon on 8-hour workdays and yoga breaks? You think Musk is balanced? You think Steve Jobs gave a damn about self-care Sundays? Hell no. These men weren't balanced. They were possessed. And that's why the world remembers their names. Obsession isn't unhealthy, it's necessary. It's the fuel that separates those who dabble from those who dominate. You think a lion is balanced when it's hunting? No. It's focused, it's locked in, and it doesn't quit until it's got blood on its teeth. That's what it takes. You want to change your life? You want legacy? You want to build something that makes history books bend around your name? Get obsessed. Fall in love with the process. Make your vision your addiction. Because when you're obsessed, nothing else matters. Distractions become noise. Excuses vanish. Time bends around your purpose. People will call you crazy. Let them. That's how you know you're on the right path. The average hate the obsessed because the obsessed remind them of what they could have been if they didn't quit. Your obsession is a mirror to their mediocrity. But you weren't built for balance. You were built for greatness. And greatness requires tunnel vision, sacrifice, and an unrelenting hunger that balance could never satisfy. Look at every major breakthrough in history, science, business, sports, art. None of it came from balanced people. It came from people who pushed beyond limits, who gave everything, who risked comfort, relationships, even sanity, because their vision wouldn't let them sleep. That's obsession. That's what it takes. And if you're still clinging to balance, you've already lost. You've already decided mediocrity is enough for you. Let the others take the balanced route. Let them chase comfort. You're going all in. You're burning the boats, you're cutting off retreat, and you're planting your flag in the ground of your destiny. Because you're not here to participate, you're here to conquer. Obsession builds empires. And until you have that level of commitment, that fire that consumes every excuse in its path, you will always live in the shadow of men who did. This is your wake-up call. No more half measures. No more balance. No more compromise. Get obsessed or get out of the way. Sacrifice is the entry fee. It's not a suggestion. It's not a motivational poster. It's the law of the jungle for anyone who wants to be great. You want to build something meaningful? You want to leave a legacy? You want to be the one they talk about when you're not in the room? Then understand this right now. You don't get that life with weekends off, 8 hours of sleep, and comfort on tap. That life has a price tag. And that price is pain, discipline, rejection, loneliness, and long nights staring into the abyss while everyone else is partying, sleeping, or wasting time. The weekends, that's right. While the rest of the world is counting down to Friday, the committed man is using the weekend as his weapon. He's up early on Saturday, grinding. He's working through Sunday night while others are numbing their brains with garbage TV. You think champions punch out on Friday at 5 p.m.? You think empires get built Monday to Friday? Bullshit. You've been fed a lie by society that's designed to keep you average. Average people crave weekends. Extraordinary people can't tell the damn difference between Tuesday and Sunday because every day is a step toward domination, no comfort. You don't get to stay in the warm blanket of routine. You don't get success and comfort in the same package. It's one or the other. Success demands discomfort. It demands that you stretch beyond what feels good. It asks you to endure sleepless nights, relentless pressure, and to keep going when your body says stop and your mind screams quit. You think it's supposed to be fun all the time? It's supposed to hurt. That's how you grow. That's how you separate yourself from the weak, from the balanced, from the average, and no guarantees. This is the killer. You could do everything right, sacrifice, grind, bleed, and you still might not get what you want. That's the price of the game. It's not fair, it's not safe, but guess what? That's what makes it worth it. Because when you do win, when you break through, it's because you earned it. You didn't get lucky. You outlasted everyone else who quit at the first sign of resistance. Sacrifice isn't optional. It's the toll booth on the highway to greatness. You want to go all the way? You better be ready to pay that toll daily. Not once, not in phases, every damn day. If you're not willing to bleed for it, you don't deserve it. If you're not willing to lose sleep, miss birthdays, say no to comfort, and live like a savage with a mission, then get off the highway. This road's not for you. But if you're still here, if you're still reading, then maybe, just maybe, you've got the fire. Fan it, fuel it, and for the love of your future, pay the price. You say you want success, but you want to keep your evenings free? Bullshit. That's the kind of weak excuse I hear all day long from people who talk big but act small. The truth is, the man who truly wants it, the man who's hungry for real success, doesn't care about Netflix binges or Friday night drinks. He doesn't worry about having a balanced social life or clocking out early to watch some game. Why? Because he's building something that outlives him. He's not just chasing a paycheck or fleeting pleasure, he's creating a legacy. You want to know why balance is the biggest trap for the uncommitted? Because it allows you to settle. It's the illusion that you can have it all without making the sacrifices required to get to the top. If you want to be mediocre, by all means, keep searching for that so-called balance. But if you want to dominate your field, build an empire, and leave your mark on this world, you've got to be willing to give up comfort. You've got to be willing to work harder, longer, and smarter than anyone else out there. You have to be willing to make your work your life, not just a part of it. Look around at the people who have made it. Those who have climbed to the top of their game, crushed the competition, and rewritten the rules. They're not sitting around waiting for the right time or stressing over their work-life balance. They're obsessed. They wake up every morning with one goal in mind: to conquer. They work when others sleep. They grind while others party. Their evenings aren't free because their mission demands every second of their attention and energy. They know that the price of greatness is the elimination of excuses and the rejection of comfort. You want to keep your evenings free, to relax, to scroll through social media, or to binge watch your favorite show? Fine. But don't fool yourself into thinking that's the path to greatness. The man who truly wants it understands that every hour spent relaxing or socializing is an hour someone else is using to get ahead. They're out there making calls, learning new skills, strategizing, and pushing their limits. That's why they're winning and you're stuck. The truth is, there is no balance on the road to success. There is only sacrifice, focus, and relentless pursuit. If you want to be average, if you want a comfortable life with no real risk, then yes, balance might work for you. But if you want to be exceptional, to break barriers, and to leave a legacy, you must accept that your balance will be lopsided in favor of work, growth, and execution. The man who truly wants it doesn't complain about the long hours or missed social events because he's focused on the bigger prize. So stop lying to yourself. Stop using balance as an excuse to avoid the hard work. Success is not handed out to those who tiptoe through life hoping to keep all areas perfectly aligned. It belongs to the warriors who burn the midnight oil, who sacrifice their leisure for progress, and who are willing to endure discomfort today to own tomorrow. You want success? Then stop looking for balance and start looking for obsession. Because the only thing standing between you and what you want is your willingness to put in the work that others won't. When your vision is razor sharp, the whole idea of balance vanishes like smoke in the wind. You see, balance sounds nice on paper. It's comfortable, safe, and easy to cling to. But in reality, it's nothing more than a distraction, a convenient excuse people use when they lack the guts to commit fully. When you truly know what you want, when your vision is crystal clear, the noise of balance fades away. Because it simply doesn't matter anymore. You don't have 10 competing priorities pulling you in a dozen directions. You have one mission, and that mission is all that counts. This single-minded focus is what separates the mediocre from the legendary. Think about the greats: Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson. They didn't spend their days trying to balance their business with their hobbies or social lives. No. They sacrificed everything else to pursue their vision with ruthless determination. They had no time for distractions, no patience for excuses. Their clarity of purpose killed any reason to waver or hesitate. When you see your goal that clearly, your excuses crumble. Because how can you justify anything less than full throttle when the prize is right in front of you? Balance requires you to juggle multiple things, to divide your attention, and to settle for being good enough in many areas. But greatness demands an all-in approach. It requires relentless execution and singular dedication. When you focus on one priority, you stop wasting energy on things that don't move the needle. You don't get caught up in trying to do everything to please everyone or to maintain some unrealistic equilibrium. Instead, you lock in, laser focus, and attack your goal with savage intensity. Imagine trying to sprint with a backpack full of rocks labeled balance. It slows you down, drains your energy, and ultimately keeps you from winning the race. When you drop that backpack and run unburdened toward your mission, your speed and power multiply. Clarity is that shedding of unnecessary weight. It sharpens your mind and energizes your body. It turns your scattered energy into a powerful, unstoppable force. Execution becomes your only option because anything less feels like betrayal to your purpose. Clarity also demands brutal honesty with yourself. You have to acknowledge what really matters and cut everything else out. Relationships that drain you, habits that waste your time, distractions that cloud your mind. That's not easy, but it's necessary. The alternative is a life of mediocrity, filled with half-finished projects and endless excuses about why you couldn't find balance. Spoiler alert, if you don't have clarity, you don't have purpose. And if you don't have purpose, your excuses will always rule your life. When your vision is sharp, you don't get overwhelmed by options or confused by competing demands. You know exactly what you're fighting for. Every action, every decision, every hour you invest is aligned with your mission. You become ruthless in your elimination of anything that doesn't serve your end goal. That's when you stop trying to balance and start executing like a machine. That's how empires are built. Not by playing it safe, but by going all in with laser focus and unwavering commitment. So remember, clarity kills excuses because it leaves no room for doubt, no space for hesitation. When you're clear on your purpose, you don't juggle. You dominate, you don't balance, you conquer. Your mission becomes your obsession, and execution is the only language you speak. The moment you achieve that kind of clarity, balance becomes irrelevant because success demands all your fire, all your passion, all your energy, and nothing less will ever do. So next time you hear some soft talk about balance, remember this. Balance is the excuse of the uncommitted man. It's the lullaby sung to dreamers who never wake up. You want to be a king? Then act like one. Cut the crap. Choose your mission. Burn the excuses. Execute.